Hey guys. Okay, so I am making a video about breaking down our heart walls. So how are you guys doing? Do you ever get to a point where you're like very vulnerable, you cried and all of a sudden you like get angry because you're trying to like basically trying to protect yourself again because you're like, "Oh my gosh, I am too vulnerable right now and I just don't want anyone to like hurt me or you don't want anyone to break down your walls again." And so part of the long process that I've been going through has been learning to bring down those walls and to just say like, I'm willing to let people in, I'm willing to trust people, I'm willing to be vulnerable and feel the love that is invading my soul. So, for me, I was born in Germany. I moved to Taiwan when I was 5, when I was 8, and then my parents divorced when I was 8. My dad was cheating on my mom. So, for a long time, I really did not believe in marriage. Like, marriage just seemed really freaking scary. There's a possibility I am gonna cry on this video. It seemed like a freaking just scary thing, and I would go to weddings. Um, I went to this Baptist church, so like everyone was getting married, and I would show up at these weddings feeling bitter and like mad, almost like, why are they getting married? Like they're gonna be trapped, and all this stuff. And it's really strange because after my relationship 6 years ago, for 2.5 years, we were together. And I just kind of fell into that relationship. I didn't meaningfully date and commit myself to that person. I wanted to be he asked to be in an exclusive relationship, so I just said, "Why not? I enjoy your company. Cool, like let's date." Cuz he was like at my house for a week. He would come every single day. He was very persistent and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be exclusive?" So at the time, I was kind of still wanting to date, but because I was like, "Well, I enjoy his company. It's easy." I said, "Okay, fine. Like let's be in this relationship." Well, a year in, I should have out of it, but I didn't because I was like scared of heartbreak and pain. And um I knew he wasn't exactly what I was looking for in a life partner because first of all, he wasn't Christian, and I want someone who's Christian because I'm Christian myself. And second of all, he didn't really want to get married till he was 40, and he didn't really want kids. So I want kids. So all of that to say is that I dated him for 2.5 years, 6 years ago. And in the middle of the relationship, because I felt so dishonored and disrespected, and I did not feel beautiful in the relationship because he would be like, "Oh, I don't like what you're wearing. You should go change." Like, she wouldn't makeup. He would disappear for like 2, 3 days. And I was so traumatized by this whole experience. There are things I was not okay with, but I didn't really speak up. I like, I suppressed my heart and my desires to be with someone. And that is why now it's very important for me to speak up, and I encourage girls, men, boys, whatever, women, to speak up for yourself because you are dishonoring your heart by not speaking up for what you want. And being vulnerable is a scary thing because when you're vulnerable, you're letting someone in, and you can get easily attached to someone. And attachment is not a bad thing, right? But it's also easy for me to feel for someone and then be like, "Wait, but he's not what I'm looking for," right? So, and that's okay to feel those emotions of vulnerability because it's what makes you human. It's a beautiful thing, and I think our society doesn't talk that much about vulnerability. So vulnerability is such an important thing, and I just encourage you to be vulnerable with your friends and family. So then after that relationship, I kind of went on a dating spree and tried to date But then I realized, like, all of these guys, they just wanted, like, sex. They just wanted to hook up, and I didn't want that, right? Because 'Cause I'm waiting till marriage to have sex. So, um, I stopped dating, and I was like, "God, like, it's just you and me. We're gonna, like, do this together. I'm gonna focus on you, God." And, I just stopped dating, and all of the cute guys from the streets, like, disappeared. Like, no one ever approached me. Like, I never really wanted to approach people. I was, like, scared of guys, to be honest, and I just didn't wanna fall into the same pit, you know? And I did my best to protect myself from falling into anything, right? And then even, like, I had, like, short, like, relationships when I was traveling. Like, if I met someone, it was, like, a short relationship, and I'm like, "Okay, when I go back to the United States, like, it's gonna be over," right? So, there's protection in that part where it's like, "Okay, I'll be hurt, but not hurt," you know, because it's, like, short term. And then, um, so this whole year, like, I don't know if you guys know, but, like, 2020, even starting from last year of July, like, so a year, probably 2 years ago, God gave me a dream, and I was swiping on, like, Tinder or Bumble or something, and it was just pictures of, it was just like, "Get ready." And then I had a dream that I was wearing a wedding dress on an airplane, and I was doing my makeup, I had my dress on, but the guy was not there yet, right? So I had a lot of people prophesy, like, "Oh, you're gonna get married soon," like, they'll meet me and they'll hear, like, marriage or husband. So I'm like, "Okay, God, where's my man?" You know what I mean? Like, I've been prophesied to, I know you've spoken to me. The biggest thing that the Lord has shown me in the process of meeting my soulmate is the importance of following my heart. And the thing is, when we get heartbroken, we think that, "Oh, I'm not gonna follow my heart because when I did, I got heartbroken." But you don't realize that when you followed your heart and you got heartbroken, that was part of the process of opening up your heart because your heart is not naturally open. Not everyone is naturally open unless you have a very good family and you grew up in a safe environment where you're just constantly trusting people and you like open up your heart to people. But in our society, most of our hearts are not naturally open. Like we don't just talk to strangers. We don't just trust people. You know what I mean? So part of heartbreak is it's almost an opening of your heart. It's breaking down the walls of your heart. So um this whole year, like God has just been bringing men like from everywhere and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed." And I minister to men, I prophesy to men, I listen to their stories, and it has given me so much more compassion and more grace for men because for a long time, men, I hated men because I hated my dad and I hated that he wasn't there for me, he wasn't around. And I hated um that he was silent and he was absent. And it's really strange because as God is just like digging in, I can feel that my voice is clear, that my story is clear, that I speak with clarity, that I'm not afraid to speak up for myself anymore, right? And I can say what I mean instead of shying away from what I mean to say. And in my 20s, there were a lot of times where okay, I feel uncomfortable, I don't feel good, or I don't like what they're saying, or I'm annoyed, but I wouldn't really speak up because I'm like, oh, I'll just like kind of compromise. I'll kind of, I don't want to inconvenience. I don't want to make a scene. I don't want to, you feel the hard feelings that come when you confront someone. But now, hi. Oh, today's Wednesday? That's crazy that I'm talking about this. So this whole year, like as God just brought different people, like I remember one Uber driver and like I got in the car immediately I heard the Lord say cheating and I'm like, what the heck? So I asked him, I was like, have you cheated on your wife? Because we're talking about marriage. And he's like, yeah, I have. And I was like, have you ever told her? And he's like, no. So I was like, ask Jesus. And so, like, as he's, like, explaining why he cheated and, like, all these different things, um, it gave me an understanding as to my parents' relationship and why people cheat and stuff like that. So, um, I have cheated before, and I've cheated because I did not feel emotionally connected with the with. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel beautiful in that relationship because he was always trying to change me. It's like he never affirmed me, you know what I mean? And he would disappear for like a few days. So, anyways, we after that, and what I mean to say is there's really a reason for everything that most of us are so afraid of emotional connection and vulnerability that we are in relationships and friendships, but we have something else to say, behind their back. And we don't say it to them, right? And so God has definitely been breaking down the walls of my heart. And one of the things that He's been healing me from, a big thing, is church. So I went to a Baptist church, and um, when I left, I had a lot of female leaders um, bag on me for it, like telling me that I was going down the road of destruction or whatever. And there were curse words basically that they were trying to put on my life. Um, I still, to this day, there are things that I haven't said that I'm going to say to them, that I'm going to confront them. Hey, look, I feel hurt by what you said to me. So some of us are so afraid to confront people that we don't allow our hearts to be relieved. Someone's calling. 8-1. Okay, I'll call back. We don't allow our hearts to be relieved. And so I encourage you today to say what you mean to say and tell people how you feel and not suppress those emotions in your heart, because your heart's going to go crazy if you don't release it. So say what you feel towards someone. Hey, I appreciate you. I like you. I love you. I really honor you. Like, whatever it is, like, tell that person, and you'll see intimacy in all of your friendships when you do that, when you say how you feel. So I pray that this may bless you. Um, Hi. If you like to subscribe to my blog, and if you'd like to make a donation to this ministry, you can do so on my website, rebekkalien.com. Thank you for your love and your support. God bless you. Bye. Wave, 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 and stream.